So the school year is almost upon us in this country, ladies and gentlemen. Then again, I don't think many parents watching right now in this country needed me to remind them of that. They're very excited about the morning school runs. I wish you all the best in doing so. However, there could be some parents out there who won't be doing the school runs due to their school actually being closed. Yes, there are schools closed out there due to a terrible concrete situation. How we've allowed ourselves to get in that mess is completely beyond me, complete incompetence from people in charge. Then again, when you really start to look at it, could you expect anything else? Who knows? But we're not going to be talking about those reports today. We're going to be talking about the reports coming out surrounding uniforms because according to the reports, there are some schools out there who have decided to go down a different route with their uniforms. That really doesn't surprise me, and because of the news breaking, it's left a lot of people asking a lot of valid questions. So schools out there in this country have decided to go down the gender neutral path. Apparently, yes, they're going to get rid of gendered terms such as male and female, because we simply can't have those any longer, can we? Ladies and gentlemen, no. So they're going to be called Uniform A, Uniform B, and apparently in some cases, Uniform C. Sounds very exciting and not demoralizing at all. Now, some people will say, well, that's quite minuscule. It doesn't really matter. Gender neutral terms aren't that bad. I would say I disagree, because once you allow it to appear in one walk of life, then it appears everywhere else because it starts to become normalized. And as we know, that's not a great tone to set. However, it doesn't just stop there, and I'm really hoping this isn't true, but apparently it gets a lot worse. And according to the Daily Mail, allegedly, some primary schools out there now, again, I'm hoping this isn't true, but some primary schools out there now are actually scrapping uniform based on sex and allow kids as young as 4 to 11 to choose their uniform based on the gender they identify as. What? I don't know what's going on, but I would say, the parents are probably instigating that and reaffirming that child's belief, and now it seems like the schools are reaffirming that belief. Crazy times, right? We're going to dive deep into this Daily Mail article, and then afterwards we'll look at a GBNews segment where a daughter was talking to her mother about this scenario and says, why are they erasing women? It's going to be a good episode, that's for sure. But firstly, let's get into this article. Uniformly daft. Schools avoid naming boys and girl outfits and swap them for gender-neutral terms, Uniform A and Uniform B, so their pupils can self-identify. Hundreds of schools are using the gender-neutral terms Uniform A and Uniform B instead of saying boys and girls. Primary schools have abolished uniforms based on to let children as young as 4 wear clothes that most reflect their self-identified gender. Top private schools, including Britain's most expensive Brighton College, plus Christian state primaries and secondaries and sixth form colleges nationwide, have adopted gender policies. In many cases, the words boy and girl are erased from uniform policy documents, replaced by Uniform A and Uniform B. Confusingly, some schools have introduced a Uniform C. Blowfield Primary School in Norwich altered its uniform policy last year to allow children aged 4 to 11 to pick clothing based on their self-identified gender. Retired head Chris McGovern, chairman of the Campaign for Real Education, said schools are adding to the mental health problems of children who, after going into school, no longer know what gender they belong to. It's time we had a government with the backbone to intervene. Lucy Marsh of the Family Education Trust said it's about time that parents got together to push back against this. Christian state schools based on Church of England teachings are among those removing children's gender from uniform policies. Ellesmere Port Church of England College in Cheshire does not use the words boy or girl to ensure all pupils feel part of the college's community. Brighton College, which has fees of up to £64,920 a year, has Uniform A and Uniform B. Its headmaster, Richard Ken, said he wants to give transgender children personal leeway. What is going on? Wellington Private Boarding and Day School for Boys and Girls in Somerset is among those also having Uniform C. So, where to start with that one? It's actually quite mind-blowing. First things first, apologies for how long that article may have been, but I wanted to give a lot of information from it, add a lot of context, and it does seem like, according to this report and other reports, schools are now reaffirming people's beliefs, students' beliefs. Who are they trying to please with these gender-neutral terms, inclusion, inclusivity? Because if you're taking students, kids who are 4 to 11, right, they're not going to get too angry, I would think, emotional over not wearing a certain uniform. They're going to do what they're told. They're going to do what the schools have told them to do. So I definitely think it's adults who are instigating this, maybe teachers and parents as well. But then if you take older age groups, again, who are they trying to please? The small minority. The small minority that definitely seems to have a huge grip on society and taking it into a direction wherever they see fit. It's very interesting and concerning that also Christian state schools who apply the teachings of the Church of England are going down this route. It just tells you all you need to know. And, I also personally think this is how it all really starts. Small things are done, small changes are made, and then over time, more things are pushed, which is why, they're saying once you give people an inch, they'll then take a mile. We see that being applied, especially in today's world. And remember, this is all under a conservative government. Conservative, yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see what it's going to be like under a Labour government. I am on the edge of my seat to see that one. Yeah, but GB News have also obviously discussed the reports that are coming out surrounding the uniforms and the people they had on this debate. You've got a woman who goes by the name of Annunziata Rees-Mogg, and her 12-year-old daughter, apparently when questioned about all of this and they spoke about these uniform changes, she said to her mum, "Why are they trying to erase women?" Yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it? But take a watch.
Many have scrapped separate boys' and girls' uniforms in favour of gender-neutral options, including getting rid of skirts. So, should kids be forced to wear gender-neutral uniforms? Annunziata, I'll come to you on this one because you've got children at school. Your reaction to this?
It's an absolutely abominable idea. I actually called my 12-year-old to get her take on it, and she immediately said no. Why do they keep trying to erase women? If you've got a gender neutral, and the National Education Union says it is not good practice to make girls and boys wear different uniforms, the only option they leave you with is trousers. They are putting all the girls in boys' uniform. What happened to being allowed to be feminine, to be allowed to be a feminist?
Too right. I mean, this is an absolute shocker. This is woke gone mad, isn't it, Neil?
It certainly is. I mean, who are they trying to please here? Because, I mean, the majority of boys want to be boys and the majority of girls want to be girls. Now, there's a few that want to change, perhaps, and perhaps legitimately. But why have we got to change everybody's uniform in order to please a few, you see? And, of course, then, you've got all the problems with loos and all these things that go with it. And I think, I just think that we are trying to alter children's behaviour. I think we're putting extra pressure on them, on their sexuality as they're growing up as well, which they don't need. They've got all the pressures of school and all the pressures of exams and everything else that goes with it. And I think this is just wrong to do it. And I think we're just going mad about something that doesn't need to be fixed. It's not actually broken, but we're breaking it. That's the trouble.
Simon, you are the voice of common sense within the Labour movement. Do you worry that there'll be more of this nonsense under a Labour government?
I think there is a potential for that, actually. I think we've seen that with Keir Starmer. He has a North London Labour view of the world, which I don't particularly share. He's had difficulty defining what a woman is or in recent times. So I think there is a concern that should we end up with a Labour government, and I think David Blunkett's right that we might well not. But if we do, then these issues will come to the fore. Taking the knee. We've seen it all with Keir and Angela Rayner. I think there are concerns about that, actually.
Of course, there is a flip side to this argument, which is that the schools involved are very keen to make sure that all their pupils feel included.
I mean, if 12-year-olds are coming out and saying this, then the future certainly looks bright. The only thing I would add is it's not only women who are being erased. I think what you're also seeing is what it means to be a man being erased. You see in a lot of walks of life, men being completely feminized, which then also affects women. Again, I don't understand the need for this uniform change. Why get rid of the gender terms, male and female, make them gender neutral? They also brought up the toilet situation. We're seeing more and more toilets gender neutral. That is also concerning. As I said earlier, once you allow it to happen in one walk of life, you see it everywhere else. Maybe, again, as I said, I'm not seeing what other people are seeing, but it does certainly seem like they're trying to please a small group of people, and they also mention a Labour government. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting ride, I'll just say that one, when Labour eventually get into power, because let's be honest, it does seem like they're going to be the next party in power. I'm highly optimistic about Keir Starmer. Help us all, not only with the culture stuff, but with everything else, and it is sad that people have really been pushed into the direction of thinking Labour's going to save the country, Labour is going to save everybody and fix everybody's problems, and I don't think that's their fault. That's just because of how badly the Conservatives have effed everything up. Conservatives, was that all by design? Who knows? But that is the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your thoughts down below, especially if you're a parent. I'd be very interested to see how many parents that are in England that have experienced what we read out. That would be great to see as well. If you have enjoyed today, please for me, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video. But until next time, why my voice goes at the end of the videos, I have no idea. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace. Wow, I'm gonna have no voice left. Liberals would love that one.